I didn't get. All right, so thank you everyone for joining us tonight for the community rooting session. So a little about GVI to begin is that our mission is to grow food, knowledge, leadership, and community through urban gardening and farming to create a more just food system in Bridgeport. And as you can see, our team and our volunteers and our friends and family are hardworking folks who kept their masks on and kept grooving through the pandemic because we love what we do. Our mission centers food justice. And for anyone who's new tonight or is a part of this work and is really jazzed about food justice, I hope that this slide brings you a lot of joy. We believe that food justice is communities exercising their right to grow, sell, and eat healthy food, and that healthy food is defined as fresh and nutritious, affordable, culturally appropriate, and grown locally with the care for the well-being of the land, workers, and animals. Every creature and entity associated with our food deserves care and well-being, and we believe that true liberation comes through justice, particularly food justice, and that is part and that food justice truly is racial justice. At GVI, we want to accomplish that enormous mission and change the world through our 4 programs. We have school gardens, 23 of them across the city, community gardens, 12 of them located in 12 neighborhoods, in various neighborhoods, but each with 12 distinct personalities. We have our youth leadership program, which has graduated hundreds of teenagers who've learned about food justice, farming, public speaking, and how to kind of grow their skills, their ambitions, and follow their dreams. We've graduated hundreds of teens over the past several years. And all of these programs, in addition to the policy work we do in the city and statewide, really comes back to our hub at Reservoir Community Farm. At Reservoir Farm, you can see here, we have small businesses being incubated that sell food, but it's also our site for doing experiential learning, volunteer work, and some of the amazing friends on this call even help us collect food and coats on site because it's really a space for giving back to the community while also being a backyard for amazing community gardeners like Karen Bracey, also on the call. So that was a lot about us. And now we would love to hear more from you. So I'm going to stop my share really quickly. There we go. I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment and bring it back to the whole group. And we are inviting you to share a little bit about yourself. So I'm going to start. We're going to share our name, our pronouns, and say something you're excited about in 2022. So those are 3 things to remember. And your 4th is pretty easy. Then you're just going to pick somebody else on the screen and popcorn it over to them. So my name is Ellie. I'm the executive director here at GVI, and I feel so blessed and lucky to have all of these faces on my screen right now. My pronouns are she and her, and something I'm excited about for 2022. Well, I could be boring and say getting a new lease for our farm, but the other thing I'm going to say is I'm really excited to do some fermenting this year with vegetables. So I'm going to pop it over to Sandra. Hi, Sandra.
Hello, everyone. I really love the Reservoir Farm. I did have a raised bed about 5 years ago. I couldn't continue with the raised bed because I have a little bit of an orthopedic issue, but I love this space. I love that I have an opportunity to bring some senior citizens to the garden so that they can buy fresh vegetables. I love that the children can come and they can learn STEAM skills, science, technology, engineering, the arts, music, mathematics, and that they get a chance to unplug from their devices and work in the garden and participate in all the other programs. I could go on and on, but I don't want to take up all your time.
Who would you like to go next, Sandra?
I can't see the names. I can see, okay, how about Chris Sullivan?
Thank you, Sandra. Good evening. Chris Sullivan, I'm the Executive Director with the Southwest Conservation District, pronouns he and him. I'm excited for 2022 to continue expanding the Conservation District's mission and goals of working across our service area, and I'm actually really hoping to finally move forward and get more partnership with Ellie and this group. I know we've emailed a bunch of times about some work, but I want to plug into the great work that you're doing and try to help you out with things that are going on. I think that covers everything, and I'll pass it on to Karen Bracey.
Oh, gee, thanks, Chris. Hi, good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. I am a she, her too. I'm a resident of Trumbull Gardens, president of the Resident Association here, and I'm a farmer, which I love because I have a plot up on Reservoir. What I'm looking forward to in the year 2022 is hopefully we keep our community garden going, and so that I can be a part of it. And that's it. I don't know who to bring it on to because I can't pull this up. Wait a minute, I think I got it. Let's try Catherine Lindsay.
Thank you, Karen. I'm Catherine. I use she, her pronouns. I work with GVI. I am the farm program manager at Reservoir Community Farm. So it means so much to me that so many of you took the time out of your day to get on this call to talk about how this topic is progressing. I had a long meeting today with Richard Meyer, the assistant farm manager, and we laid out the whole crop plan for this summer. So that has me so excited to get back outside as soon as we can and plant some vegetables. I will popcorn it to Melissa.
Hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Mastaway, and I'm the Natural Resource Specialist with the Southwest Conservation District. I also work with Chris Sullivan. And this year, I'm particularly excited to start our second generation of peppers. We just harvested the seeds and they're drying right now. And we had a lot of peppers to make hot sauce and chili flakes and a nice chili crunch to go with our dinner. So that's something I'm looking forward to. And I go by she, her. Thank you. And I'll popcorn it to Robert.
Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Rob. I go by he, him pronouns, and I am the youth program manager at GVI. Got one of my youth on the call now. He'll get a turn to talk a little bit later, but something I'm most excited for in 2022. I like to grow rare varieties of different plants, so I'm just excited to see what I'm going to grow this year. I'm starting to look at some seed catalogs and getting excited. So yeah, I'm planning that out now. I'll popcorn it to Allison.
There's a few. I can go though. I don't know who you meant to, but anyway, I'll go. My name's Allison Wade. I'm new to this group. I go by pronouns she and her. I work at Fairfield University. I work in the marketing department. I live in Fairfield, and I found out about GVI through my coworkers. And something I'm personally interested in this year is just getting more involved in my community. And so that's kind of why I'm here. And I look forward to finding out about, what you all do and how I might be able to volunteer my time. And I can pass it over to, I see another Allison with an ALISON.
Hi, my name's Allison. I use she, her pronouns. Yeah, I'm also kind of new. I do stuff with Bridgeport Mutual Aid, and they had an event where we went to GVI, and I thought it was a really cool space, and I've driven past it a lot. And I just want to learn more about how to get involved. So yeah, that's me. And I'll send it to, let's see, how about Marcia?
Peace, everyone. My name is Marsha June. I'm from Bridgeport, Connecticut. I discovered GVI a few years ago and fell in love with their missions and values, and that's why I continue to stay connected with them. And in the new year, I hope to do more workshops. Over the summer, I did like a herbalism workshop with the youth, and I'd like to do more educational workshops to educate the community. And I can't see the list, so I'm not sure who to pass it over to.
Thank you, Marcia. We can popcorn for you. We'll popcorn over to Allie Giorgi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Allie Giorgi, and I go by she, her, and I love GVI. Been connected to GVI for a few years and just very, very grateful for all the amazing people I've met through this community. I run something called the Food Shed Network. And what am I looking forward to this year? I think meeting new people in the food systems world in Connecticut and aligning and helping to advance all this really great work. So the next person, how about Pippa? Hi, Pippa.
Hi, Allie. Hi, my name is Pippa. I'm actually a board member of GVI and a Westporter. I go by she, her, and I am looking forward to growing, but by volunteering and getting to know more Bridgeporters. So. To choose someone. Let's see, who hasn't gone? Did Richard Aguilera go?
Let's see.
My name is Richard Aguilera. I go by he, him pronouns. And something I look forward to in 2022 is working in the summer with the youth program again. And I don't know the popcorn too.
That's okay, Richard. I'll help you out. How about we popcorn over to Wanda Simmons? Hey, Wanda.
Hi, everyone. I was trying to unmute myself. Thank you. Happy New Year. I'm excited about 2022. I'm the newly elected councilwoman over on the East End. And I think that GVI is doing a great job over on the North End, along with Reggie with Bridgeport. There's a couple other people that I've done some mutual community work with. So I'm looking forward to learning more about what GVI does, and hopefully I'll be able to partner and bring something over here on the East End. Thank you.
Okay, Wanda, I'm gonna popcorn for you, and we can popcorn to, let's see, Eileen.
Hi, everybody. Eileen O'Reilly here, board chair for GVI. Goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, that I love the organization and I'm so inspired by the people who work there, the people I meet on the farm. Oh, my pronouns are she and her. God, I'm looking forward to so many things. I think I recently did a volunteer stint with a group of school kids. It was just amazing. And every second of it was incredible. The kids were they were just so excited about all the learning. I met some of their parents. I heard their stories. I never leave the farm. Sorry, that's my dog whining. He has been fed, but I never leave the farm without just feeling like lighter and just more hopeful about our world because the people I meet there. And I see all the amazing work. So I think I'm excited about two things. One is I've recently joined we have a forestry committee in our town because a lot of people are upset about all the trees being cut down. And I'm working hard on that. And I really want to get these people. They're really good people. They're really great at like being local activists. And I love to bring them to the farm because I think people from other towns should see what kind of cool stuff is going on in Bridgeport. I don't know that they get it. And then I also just recently stopped by Cook and Grow. I don't know if anybody knows Chef Mona, but she's this wonderful woman who teaches kids how to cook healthy food in Bridgeport. And I had a mixer and I was like, who needs this mixer? But I said to her, can I help you? Because I love kids and I love cooking and I'm going to do some volunteering there this year. So, but I would never have known Chef Mona if it wasn't for GVI. So I just feel like it's just, the gift that keeps on giving. And I can't wait to meet all of you, the ones I don't know, and spend more time with the ones I do. And I'm sorry if I'm not on all the time. I'm actually cooking dinner for my kid. Okay, but we're here, we're listening. All right, take care. Here we go, muting.
Okay, and so Reggie, do you want to go next? Thank you, Eileen.
Hey, Reggie, he, him, Bridgeport, and I'm excited to see all the programs GVI has planned for this year. I'll popcorn off to Brianna. Do you go? Then I'll popcorn off to Brianna.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Brianna. I use they, them pronouns. I am Director of Operations at GVI and the IT person tonight. So if you're having Zoom problems, send me a message. And I am very excited to, I crocheted a lot of Christmas presents. And so I'm excited to crochet even more for the rest of the year. And I'll popcorn to Emma.
Thanks, Brianna. Hi, everyone. I actually came to Bridgeport from New York to serve with GVI as a food corps service member. I get to do really amazing work in the public schools, working at the school gardens, and I would say I'm just really looking forward to making the best garden and harvest I can. Great to be here.
Thanks, Emma. And I think we have two folks left to go, Diane and B. Whoever wants to go first to introduce yourself, your pronouns, and what you're excited about in 2022. Okay, Diane and V, we haven't heard from you, so we're gonna assume maybe you want to stay off microphone right now, but you guys are welcome to intro yourselves later. Oh, there you are, Diane. Diane, would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, I don't know if we can. Oh, Diane, I don't think we can hear you if you're speaking. I can't quite see you. Sorry about that. Okay, maybe I think you're connecting to audio again. So we're gonna move and groove back to our regularly scheduled programming, but I'm really glad that all of you have met each other, and I really appreciate some of what came up, which was excitement to get to know each other even better this year, and some really deep connections that we're making within GVI and outside of it, and with like the greater communities outside of ourselves, which is kind of the whole goal of what we do at GVI in general. So I'm really stoked that you're all here tonight. So I'm going to move back to sharing my screen. Here we go. All right, thumbs up if you can see it, Brianna. Great. All right. So updates on the farm lease. Tonight, my purpose in speaking so much, which I'll be doing quite a bit, will be essentially to get you as our farmily up to date on the happenings with the farm, some important upcoming dates and events, and how you can stay involved. We want this to be a really transparent process. We know that a lot of this hasn't always been super transparent, especially for us. So we're working to kind of remediate and giving all of the information that we possibly can to keep you as involved and updated as we move and groove, so you can stay as involved as you'd like. And so the first goal is to do a brief history to root us and what action we've taken so far. So we're going to be looking back a little bit before we look forward. If I'm going too fast at any point, please throw it in the chat. Let me know. Or if you have questions, please feel free to throw them in the chat. We're going to get to them. I'll be pausing in several slides for us to have some questions answered. But a brief history to root us includes the fact that we've been farming on the city-owned lot that was originally the land of the Golden Hill Pawtucket tribe since 2010. In that time, we've grown thousands of pounds of food, graduated hundreds of teens from our youth leadership program, educated thousands and thousands of school children and families, and also had them educate us, because that's the way that community works. We've learned a lot as we've grown. And GVI has had 2 5-year leases to continue farming on this land. And in fall of 2020, the city of Bridgeport placed $2 million into its budget to construct a library in the neighborhood, with kind of the tacit understanding being that it would be on this land. So we were kind of brought into this kind of growth opportunity that we see it as now, from kind of a little bit of a place of tension, but one that we've grown through. And during this time, we have been continuing to grow and get silly and build relationships. That's what the farm is all about. So what action did we take in the winter of 2020 to 2021? GVI surveyed over 200 neighbors in a half-mile radius of the farm to ask their opinions on the development that was coming our way. And we collected petition signatures. As I said, we were in a place of tension. So we were really trying to get as much information as possible as we entered into conversations with the city and with the library board. And from spring to fall of 2021, GVI and the Library Board of Directors, along with the Office of Planning and Economic Development, that's frequently called OPED, we've had a number of trust building conversations, which has been pretty cool. So GVI and the library have agreed that there is potential to coexist on the site in the future, and we could build a stronger connection to food, farming, literacy, and education in Bridgeport. And even if this wasn't originally part of GVI's plan, or maybe even the library's plan, we do see that there's an incredible space for intersection of agriculture and activism and well-being and skill building all in one place in the Reservoir neighborhood, but it has to be done thoughtfully. And so because this idea to build a library on the farm's land didn't come from the library necessarily, nor from GVI, it's been really cool to actually build a relationship with them and see them as partners as we grow. The library board president and OPED director came to the farm in person to tour the site and learn more in the fall of 2021. So we ended the fall on in a really hopeful place. And during that entire time, as we were building relationships with the library, talking to the Office of Planning and Economic Development, continuing to talk to really invested city council people, connecting with our neighbors, we've continued to farm and work really hard. And I included these pictures because when we're talking about the technicalities of a lease, it can really strip out the people and the place. And I wanted to root us in this. These pictures of our youth graduating in the summer, of our team celebrating this beautiful rainbow of color in our farm beds, of families coming together and eating at our picnic tables, and doing it in a place that's outdoor and safe and welcoming. So what action have we taken in the winter? Currently, we're in a place of waiting. We're waiting to receive a draft, so a first draft of a lease agreement from the Office of Planning and Economic Development. I've included some bullets here of some things we expect to see inside of this lease. We're genuinely hoping that it will be a 5-year lease, one that has conditions that are really favorable to farming, selling food, educating folks, and employing a lot of people like we do every single year on this land. And that should the library be able to develop a plan and build in that 5-year period, that GVI would receive a 12-month heads up so that we could move some of our programming off of whatever space the library would be constructing on, and that the city would help give us some other space to run that programming off of. We don't want to sacrifice being able to grow organic, delicious food for our community and do all the skill building that you need to do as farmers on land. We don't want to necessarily sacrifice any of that. But we do think that we could cooperate by having a library on the site and doing that in a really meaningful and cool way that's informed through community design. But it's about getting some of that land and space back so we can keep doing what we do really well and have been doing well for a decade. So this slide is about our knowns and unknowns. So we have worked really hard to understand the process to pass a lease. And that's not always easy. And I really salute and am grateful to all the folks on our team who've done a lot of research and helped me. To a huge thank you to all of the community members and council members and city officials that have talked me through how a lease process works and helped our team understand that. It's been cool. And it's also like a skill building of our own. We also know that the library supports GVI getting a lease. They're down. So really, they're not standing in the way of this in any way. And we also know that our lease ends in March. So it's coming up on March 1st. That is the end of our lease period. We need the committee, and I'll talk a little bit more about this. Before we can secure a lease through the city council, it first has to go to a committee. I'm going to talk about that more in another slide. But we really need that committee to be like, cool, okay, and send it back to the city council to approve it. And the things that we don't know under my X is we don't know when we'll receive this first draft of the lease. We're hoping by January 12th, but that's where community building is really important. So that if that date comes and goes, that we can kind of raise our energy and really work together to get an answer as to when we're going to get a first draft of the lease. We don't know if council people on this committee that's going to quickly, hopefully pass the lease will support it. And we don't know how many council people will support the final vote to approve our lease. So this is some spaces, some questions that we're currently sitting in and where we see not just GVI, but the entire GVI family. So gardeners and teachers and students and youth all coming together to create a network of support. But before I continue, because I have been talking a lot, I want to ask if anyone so far has any questions. You feel free to come off of mute or to write it in the chat box.
In terms of getting city council people who are going to be favorable to us in committee or when it comes time to the final vote, is the formal exposure that they've had to this topic when you, Ellie, have been addressing them a couple of times last year at the meetings? Is that pretty much what we expect them to know?
I think it depends on the city council person, and we have one on the call named Wanda Simmons, who has raised her hand. So Wanda, maybe you can help answer Catherine's question. Catherine, your question was, how much does the city council know about our farm and this issue?
I don't know personally, individually, how many city council people are in support of this. But I know that I am in 100% support of GVI. I had such a good time at the Christmas gathering. And I just think that this is such a wonderful program for our children and our communities. And I will definitely be an advocate. I know that City Council Scott Burns was also at the Christmas event. So I will be lobbying my city council people on behalf of GVI because I think this is a wonderful program. It's educational to our children. It's providing leadership opportunities for our teens and employment opportunities. So I don't see why the full city council would not come on board. So I will be an advocate, and then offline, Ellie and I and Reggie and the other ones that I know, we can get together and just have a conversation and see how I can support this, because I think that every side of town should be doing what GVI is doing, because this is awesome work. So thank you.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Wanda. We so appreciate that, and we really appreciate that support. It is gonna take a village, pun intended, I think, to get this through, but I'm really grateful that you're part of it. Thank you so much. And do you have a question for us, Wanda, at all?
Just tell me how or what it is that I can do to, just to help move this forward. I know Diane Chapel, we've gone back many, many years. We've been friends for many, many years. I've done work with Reggie Starks. So I've also been a part of Bridgeport Mutual Aid. And I also have my own garden in where I live, where they came out and helped my grandchildren build our little garden. So I'm really excited about this. So just as far as questions or whatever, just let me know how I can be of more support so that we can move this forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is rad to hear. And I'm going to move us back. If anyone has any questions, feel free to shout them out. I'm going to move back into a screen share. Thumbs up from you, Catherine, if you can see this. Okay, great. And so kind of to answer your question, we have our important dates and next steps. So thank you so much for asking that question, Wanda. You led us right to our next place, which is that the 4 dates to keep in mind. How can we stay updated, and how can the community take action and use our collective voice? So these are the 4 big dates that are coming up right now. We are waiting for our first draft of the lease. So we're in like kind of a little waiting period, and I'm excited for next Wednesday, because if next Wednesday at 6:30 we have a lease in hand, I can like tell everyone about it and like what I'm seeing, and we can keep that process really transparent, which would be super cool. And the hope is that we take a look at that and we get it, we get to go back and forth a little bit and make it exactly what we want. And then by February 7th, the farm lease would appear on the city council meeting agenda. So this night, I've been told, is just kind of a general, like we're moving paperwork, and it's not a really like, they're not discussing it in any way, but it's just it's an important step to keep it transparent. So the farm lease will go to city council and they say, hey, we're moving it to a committee. On February 16th, it'll most likely go to the Economic and Community Development and Environment Committee meeting, which is a mouthful. And there, we most likely will not be able to say anything. So that's might be challenging. Unless invited, I don't believe we're allowed to say anything, but this is a good meeting to have people in attendance. So having folks show up and be present and watching the proceedings will be really important on February 16th, if that is, and these are tentative dates, but dates that we hope will stay locked in. February 22nd is the big date. So let's say that Economic and Community Development and Environment Committee meeting goes well, and that committee says, awesome, we love the lease, we're sending it back to City Council. City Council will hear a public hearing, which means as many people as need be can speak on it. And that is when public comment will be needed. So that's when folks can submit written testimony and speak in front of City Council. It's just like being on this Zoom call here, and might be a little bit more stressful than giving your name, pronouns, of what you're most excited for in 2022, but we would be happy to help you in any way to share a story and make your feelings known on that call, whether you want to support the lease or if you want to talk about any other subject that's important to you, that's great. We support the lease. On March 1st, our lease expires. So that's our date. And that's happening between the city council meeting where they hear about the lease and the next meeting when they vote on it. So this is like a kind of weird piece of city council, rules and regulations that I've learned through this process, but they can't have the public hearing and the final vote on the same night. From what I understand, it has to happen on 2 different nights. So March 7th, we would need folks to come out again and be in attendance to make sure that vote goes through. So these are the 4 big dates. And I will pause there because Wanda, I noticed your hand is raised. Do you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to make a statement. I'm also the liaison with the library board. So, that's another great advocacy route. So, if you can just let me know how I can help advocate on your behalf as far as the lease, and so I have a big mouth, so yes, I'm in full support of this.
It is a perfectly sized mouth, Wanda, and we're so appreciative of you sharing that. I had no idea you were the library liaison. This is huge. This is so cool. So this is a really great moment where actually now we know that you can leverage speaking on behalf of the library when you're in that meeting, which is really powerful. And it's really good to know. We should get together, Yumi and the library board. And I want to make a little space for Marcia June, who just raised her hand as well.
I just had a quick question about the public hearing. If we're not able to attend, can we submit a letter to be read?
Great question. Yes. We're gonna, I'm gonna get into this in a moment, but we are actually, we have a page on the GVI website where you'll be able to click and see exactly how you can submit written testimony. And also, as we get closer and closer to the date, we're hoping to give everybody some good instructions on how you can reach out to city council members and send them emails and things like that, so that and copy GVI so we know about it. But basically, there's going to be a lot of different ways to interact with your elected officials, and particularly for that public hearing, that's really they have ways of, like, you get it over to the city clerk's office and it goes into public record. So don't worry, Marcia, if you can't make it that night or any of the nights, the city clerk makes sure that it goes out to all the members if you write a letter.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That's a great question. Does anyone else have any other questions right now at this exact moment?
Ellie, this is Chris.
Hi, Chris.
I have a question and a comment, actually. Since I don't live in Bridgeport and the Conservation District isn't a Bridgeport organization, is commentary or support letters still something that would be accepted by the city council? Or do you have to be a resident, or we could send in a letter from the district ourselves as a support if that would work?
Yeah, I mean, all letters are valuable, but I think actually it's a question for Wanda as our city council person. Wanda, what are your opinions on this? Are folks who are not from Bridgeport allowed to speak?
Oh, no, you can speak, especially if you're part of GVI and you're part of what's going on in the community. I don't see why city council would not welcome, your input and your advocacy. So just because you're not from Bridgeport doesn't, leave you out, per se.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Wanda. That's helpful.
You're
And then I had a second comment, which is just a suggestion as an advocacy route that maybe could be considered if you haven't thought of. But you mentioned the February 16th meeting is a public attendance but not able to speak. You could still, I would suggest you could still do something visual, like pins or stickers for the people that attend, and say something like support the lease. So it's a visual cue to the members of that committee before hearing anything ahead of time. So you're already getting kind of ahead with the messaging and support. So just a suggestion.
Love that. Yes, that's awesome. Yes. Oh, okay, GVIers on the call. Let's write it down. But I love that idea. Thank you so much. I've been part of some really powerful campaigns that have done that, and I hadn't thought of that myself. So thank you so much, Chris. Does anyone else have any other questions? Okay, we're gonna move and groove. I want to get you guys out of here quickly. These were the important dates to keep in mind, and the ways that you can stay updated, because those dates, fingers crossed they won't, but potentially they could shift, because anything's possible. We live in a pandemic, and also sometimes there's a little bit of inertia around things, but we are hoping that they won't. But if they do, you can stay updated by coming to these Zooms each Wednesday. The ones moving forward are gonna probably be shorter. We're gonna make this meeting public so folks can click in and watch it. And then the upcoming Wednesday Zooms are gonna be just check-ins, and I can share any major updates and answer questions as we go. But also when we start to do some actions like letter writing or doing phone banking, this would be a good place for questions about that, or we could workshop your letter, anything. We want to use this space however you want to use it to support this lease. The other ways that you can support, I'm going to pass over to Brianna, who has been the magical magician who's been setting up our amazing GVI website. So Brianna, over to you.
All right, cool. So in the chat, there is the link to the page on our website. We started these meetings, these public conversations nice and early so that folks can start blocking out their calendars. But in terms of next steps, it's mostly just kind of stay in touch, keep in the loop. We've got our newsletter, and we'll be adding more updates as we go. Same with our website and all social media. And then later in the month, we'll be releasing this instructions document. It'll be linked on our website with specifics of if you're going like a script, if you're going to call folks, or suggested letter writing kind of language. And yeah, if you are interested in public comment, let us know. We'd love to workshop any speeches or anything that folks will say, or we'll kind of get in touch with you about what that looks like to actually sign up for public comment, because it's a bit of a process, but we'll have all of that instructions ready for you. Yeah, that's the biggest next step. Keep in touch, join us weekly, check out our website.
Yes, thank you so much, Brianna. And this is a little sneak peek of that beautiful website that is in our chat. You can click on that if you're having trouble accessing it. All you have to do is reach out to us at info@gogvi.org. We'll send you everything you need. And we're looking forward to releasing more instructional pieces soon for ways that you can stay involved, because I know that this land means a lot to a lot of folks. The memories that we made there are treasured and timeless, and we want to continue that through 2022 as we live through, we're going into our third year of pandemic, and it's really important that we have outdoor spaces where we can continue to build community and heal together. So we're going to keep the conversation going on Wednesday, January 12th, 6:30, right back here on Zoom. I'll be here again. I promise it'll most likely be shorter, depending on how many questions we get. But truly, it'll just be like a casual check-in, and I can give any refreshers, or if you come up with questions in the meantime, this is the place for it. And in the meantime, we can dream forward for what it's going to be like to be back on the farm standing in front of our farm stand full of this incredible harvest that we see here with Delisha and Lucretia back a few years ago. So for our closing goodbye, I would love if folks wanted to, this is optional, you can share a word that sums up how you're feeling right now, or you can tell us what you plan on having for dinner tonight. I'm particularly interested in what Eileen and Isa, her daughter, are having for dinner tonight, considering that they have been cooking. So if you folks wouldn't mind, please feel free to popcorn around, and we'll be closing soon.
I want to say that I'm feeling optimistic.
I'm feeling community.
Yeah, I was going to say I feel connected, and I had Mayakoba beans and collard greens. I just ate. Sorry, I'm hungry. Thank you.
I feel hopeful about the farm, and I'm going to have scallion pancakes and salad tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Wanda, for your support. I feel hopeful knowing that we have to support us. And I'm having spaghetti and meatballs.
Thank you, Diane. I love you. I had rice and beans and some ziti that my daughter cooked for me the other day.
Yummy.
I'm gonna go visit my brother, and hopefully he's gonna feed me pizza, because I don't have any other plans yet.
Awesome. Any last dinner plan? My mouth is actually filling with saliva. I'm so hungry after hearing all of this. I could eat all your dinners right now.
I just want to say, can I say something, Ellie?
Oh, absolutely.
I just want to say thank you, Wanda Simmons, Councilman Wanda Simmons. I really appreciate what you said and what you are doing for GVI and the Reservoir Farm. You are a blessing, and I hope you can turn some of your council people over to GVI and our farm. And I fried some fish and I ate it and it was so good.
Yeah, thanks everyone for showing up. I feel so confident. I really do. I think Ellie, you're just leading us beautifully. I love that all these people are showing up. I love that, like somebody said, we're out in front of this. I think the people who are the end of the line decision makers really do love this farm. I've been on the farm with some of them. I think this is just pushing up a rock uphill right now, but I think it's going to work out. And we just had some fish here and some chickpeas and butternut squash and greens. I love to cook and I love to eat. I mean, I hope everyone else has a nice dinner.
I don't think that anybody gets into food justice because we don't love to eat, right? Like we love to eat, we want other people to eat. And I feel very full right now not from food. I'm obviously very hungry, but I feel really full of community and full of support. And I'm so, so deeply, profoundly grateful to each of you. And Miss Karen really put it so well, like Councilwoman Wanda Simmons, we are so lucky to have you on this call tonight to help shine this light and be on the inside and helping us get there so that this rock that we're pushing uphill feels a little lighter. So thank you to everyone. I hope you all have really safe evenings tonight, that you and your families stay safe, and that if you don't already have a belly full of delicious fish, that you get something in there really shortly. So feel free to reach out to us at info@gogvi.org if you have questions. If you have my personal number, you can text me. And I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna eat something, maybe some lasagna. I don't know. I have some in the freezer. All right, bye everyone. Thank you so much.
Bye. Have a good night.
Take care. I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
Call me, Ellie.
I will, Wanda. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay.
Congrats.
Well done. Good job, team. Thank you,
That was an
Catherine, for
awesome
taking
turnout.
notes. Brianna, thank you so much for doing all of the technical on this.